Hello crafters, welcome to G's Creations. This is the review on the We Are Memory Keepers banner punch board. Now, I love it. It may not be for everybody, but I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you can go from an 8.5 inch banner right the way down to an inch. And you have, obviously, you have the three styles of banner as well. It comes with a plastic cover, obviously, and this is the cardboard. You get the pennant, you get the flag, and you get the crest. This is your cutting blade, which has its own little housing, and you also have the hole punch, which is located at the back here. It comes with the little manual, which is picture based, which you know, makes a lot of sense. It has a little description underneath. It says open cutting, so it says number 1 will be select banner shape, pennant, flag or crest, open the cutting arm, and then you position your piece of paper. So in regards to the pennant, you would do it this side, the flag would be further up, and then the crest you do so it sticks out, but we'll go through that a bit later on. If you're in the UK and if you're like me who uses centimeters, I mean, it's not so bad with this because it has the inches, and you know, it's the 1/8 and the 1/16 and all the rest of it that I have a problem with. But when it's a full inch or inch and a half, I'm fine with those. But it also has the conversion centimeter chart on the back of the instructions, which I think is good for those that prefer centimeters. So that's that. I'm just going to quickly show you some things that I've created using the banner punch board. This is a Mother's Day card which I created. I'll link the video up here, and that's using the 1.5 pennant and the inch, so just to give it some dimension. I also used the crest banner to create this pocket on this particular card, and then you have the little handkerchief. So this is great for pocket designs. And then we obviously have the traditional banners. So there's lots of uses for this particular punch board. It's very, very user friendly. So one thing I also like about it is the fact that you don't necessarily need to cut your paper to the right size. So I'm just going to, let me just get a piece of scrap paper. And say for example I wanted some, let me zoom you in. Is that too far? No, it's okay. Say for example I wanted some 3.5 inch banners, and this is the pennant size. I would line my scrap piece of paper to the 3.5 inch line, which is located just here. So you line it up so it's level. You bring your cutting, and then the same with the other, like the ABC board, and the there's another board that has one of these. I can't remember what it is. This rotates, and it has a round knob and a square knob that protrudes, and that has the blade. So you would put your round into the gliding housing and go down, and then you repeat the same thing on this side. And that gives you your 3.5 inch pennant. And then you go to the back, and it's very important that you line this up correctly. As you can see, there's a line here. I'm hoping that shows up well where my finger is. There's a line there, and then you have the solid one here. So I'm just going to show you the difference. If you line this up to this, your hole isn't quite in the right place, where if you line it up to, so it's at that angle and you're using that, your hole is now in the correct place. Can you see the difference where the holes are? So that's one thing to remember, is to line it up in the correct place in regards to the hole punching. So I'm going to get another scrap piece of paper. Going to use some out of my scrap, and I'm going to do a, should I do a crest one? Let's do a crest one. See, this paper is obviously too big. I mean, it's fine for the pennant because you can just pop it in and do your required length, but for here it's too wide. So the widest points that you can have is 5.5 inches. So I'm going to cut this paper down to 5.5 inches, and then we can put it in and have a play. So I'm just going to quickly cut this to 5.5 inches. We're still in frame. Yep. Let me zoom back out. Right, for this one now, I'm going to place this in. Now it's entirely up to you how big you want your pocket to be. So I am going to place this into the right. So that's 5.5 inches, and I'm lining it up to the 6-inch mark. If I can just show you here, there's a 6-inch mark, so I'm going to line it up to there. So going under the liftable frame, and then using my tool again, popping it into its housing. Oops, wrong way around. And that gives you the pennant. No, that's not the pennant, that's the I forgot what it's called. Crafters, I forgot what it's called. We have the pennant, which is the triangle, we have the flag, and we have the crest. So let's do a flag, shall we? The flag's very easy. You literally line up your piece of paper. Say for example you can put it right up to the edge if you wish, and close your housing, making sure that it is lined up correctly. Pop this back in, making sure it's in correctly. If I put this in the wrong way, there we go. As long as you know where to place it in regards to on the board, and making sure that your paper is the right size, you can create so many different sized banners. Now this is great for Halloween. You can imagine getting, a black one and having the words, if you've got the alphabet punch board, you could use the words boo, or Christmas time, Easter, even down to Christmas cards, birthday cards, so many ways to use it. I mean, I've seen recently that there's a lot of cakes and they've got like a banner going across the top, almost 3D effect. So there's lots of different things you can use for it. There are a lot of better reviews on YouTube. I'm kind of new to reviews. It's a great tool. I really enjoy using it. Just have a play with it. If you're going to get it, have a play around with it and get used to it. It's not that hard to use. You just got to make sure that your papers are the right size, and in some cases when it comes down to the smaller ones, you can do it straight off the paper. I can put this in this little scrap piece, and as long as I want the pennant at 2 inches, I can go slide it across. And am I in camera? Yes. And away you go. It's user friendly. And then you cut that off, and if you've got a really good set of hands, you could just cut this across, and that gives you some more, so you're not wasting any paper really. If you've got any questions, please leave them below. If you'd like me to do slightly better review in regards to being slightly more in depth, or if you're not quite sure what I meant by something, or if you have any questions, please leave them below. I will do my best to answer them. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Take care now.